Please, don't hurt me, I can't walk, the trembling voice echoed through the rain-soaked alley, barely audible over the distant thunder. A woman, her elegant suit torn, clung desperately to a steel railing as two men closed in. Her eyes, once fierce with authority, now shone with terror. But from the darkness, heavy footsteps approached. And when the taller man turned, he froze. Standing under the flickering streetlight was a man with a worn jacket, a duffel bag slung over his shoulder, and eyes that carried the weight of too many wars. Step away from her, the man said calmly, but his tone carried something primal. The attackers laughed, mocking him for being just another stranger trying to play hero. But they didn't know who they were dealing with. In seconds, one attacker hit the ground, gasping for breath, the other fled into the storm. The woman, shaken but unharmed, looked up at her rescuer. He was drenched, scarred, and tired. You're safe now, he said softly, helping her up. That's how their story began. Two people from different worlds, both broken in ways no one could see. She was Evelyn Cross, the youngest female CEO of a global tech firm, brilliant, but trapped in a wheelchair after a tragic car accident that killed her fiancé. He was Jack Turner, a single dad and former army medic, trying to rebuild his life while raising his little girl, Lily, after losing his wife to cancer. Jack didn't even know who Evelyn was that night. He just did what he always did, helped someone in need. When she insisted on thanking him, he refused any reward. Ma'am, you don't owe me anything. Just, take care of yourself. But something in his eyes, humility mixed with pain, stayed with her long after he walked away. A week later, fate brought them together again. Jack had just started a part-time job as a maintenance worker at Crosstech, Evelyn's company. When she rolled into the lobby and saw him fixing a broken security panel, her eyes widened. You, she whispered. He turned, surprised. Oh, it's you. Small world. That small world quickly became something neither expected. Evelyn saw how Jack interacted with others, always patient, always kind, even when people looked down on him. The corporate world was ruthless, but Jack's quiet strength cut through the coldness. He never treated her like she was fragile. When others pitied her, he simply asked, "Need a hand, or you got this?" That small gesture made her feel human again. As weeks passed, Evelyn began to notice Lily, Jack's daughter, waiting in the break room after school. She was bright, funny, and had her father's stubborn spirit. Evelyn, who'd shut herself off from children since her accident, found herself laughing again. The three formed an unlikely bond. Jack fixed machines, Evelyn ran the company, and Lily, well, she fixed hearts, but every good story has its storm. Evelyn's board of directors began to lose faith in her leadership. A rival executive, Marcus Hale, plotted to take control of the company using Evelyn's disability as a weapon. He claimed investors didn't believe in a CEO who couldn't stand on her own 2 feet. The words cut deep. She tried to hide it, but Jack saw the pain behind her forced smile. One night, as the board prepared to vote her out, she broke down in her office. Jack found her staring at the skyline, tears on her cheeks. "They're right, Jack," she whispered. "Maybe I'm not strong enough for this anymore." Jack stepped closer, his voice low and steady. "Evelyn, strength isn't about standing tall. It's about refusing to fall apart when everyone's trying to push you down. You've built something incredible. You don't need legs to lead, you need heart. And you've got more of that than anyone I've ever met." Those words reignited something in her. The next morning, she rolled into that boardroom, not defeated, but determined. She exposed Marcus's corruption with evidence she'd gathered overnight. The room fell silent as she ended her speech with, "I may not be able to walk, but I will never bow." The board voted unanimously to keep her as CEO. After the meeting, Evelyn found Jack waiting outside with Lily, holding a small cupcake with a candle. "For the strongest woman we know," Lily said shyly. Evelyn laughed and hugged her, something she hadn't done in years. For the first time, she felt free, but there was one more challenge ahead. Jack's daughter fell ill one winter night, complications from a heart condition he could barely afford to treat. When Evelyn found out, she didn't hesitate. She used her private connections to get Lily the best medical care possible. Jack tried to refuse help, but she looked him in the eyes and said, "You once saved me when I couldn't stand. Now it's my turn." Lily recovered, and Jack's gratitude turned into something deeper, something he'd been afraid to admit. One evening, as snow fell outside the hospital window, Evelyn looked at him and said quietly, "Do you ever wish life had gone differently?" He smiled softly. "Sometimes. But then I realize, if it had, I might never have met you." Months later, Crosstech launched a new initiative, an accessible tech division designed to empower people with disabilities. Jack became its lead coordinator, turning his mechanical skills into something meaningful. The company grew stronger than ever, but more importantly, so did the people behind it, and on the night of the division's grand launch, as Evelyn gave her closing speech, she looked at the crowd and saw Jack and Lily smiling in the front row. Her voice trembled, but this time from joy. "There was a time I thought my life ended when I lost my ability to walk," she said. "But then someone reminded me, sometimes the strongest legs are the ones that carry others when they can't stand." The audience rose in applause. And as the lights dimmed, Jack stepped onto the stage, knelt beside her wheelchair, and simply said, "You carried me too, Evelyn." That night, the woman who once begged for her life found something far greater than safety. She found love, purpose, and the family she never knew she needed. If you're watching this story right now, remember, sometimes the people who appear broken are the ones who fix others the most. So don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more stories that remind us what real strength looks like. Because sometimes, one act of kindness can change everything.